Hi, I'm Jeremiah Prophet, and welcome to another edition of Prophet's Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. In this episode, we're going to get to feature this BJ70. It's different than any restoration we've ever featured because it is the first BJ70 body-off restoration we've done. It's very unique and special, so stay tuned to check it out. So this is looking nice.
Yeah, thanks. It's coming along really well. It's really popping under the hood here. I'm pretty excited to get this fuel-injected 2F going.
So pretty when you start reassembling these things after a rebuild and cosmetic restoration.
Yeah, they really are nice under the hood at this stage. I just love the mechanical nature of the engine and the offset colors. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. For sure. We'll be featuring this one. This is actually probably going to be in episode 50, I think, the way it's laying out. 50th episode. And hopefully I'll do it before I'm 51. Jeremiah's 50 in the 50th episode. That's coming. So if you guys haven't seen this rig, this is Kitty. Kitty lives in the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's actually a build from, I want to say, 6 years ago. My wife and I built this in our garage at our cabin way back up in the mountains of Colorado. And then Bob and Chandra and I did the paint job here at the shop. It is a 4-door custom Aqualoo body from Canada, and it's 4-wheel independent suspension, portal axles, great on the road, believe it or not, and off the road. 4-cylinder Toyota diesel engine, seating for 6 people. Check it out. You missed a spot. So this isn't the real valve cover for those people. This is a fake valve cover for painting purposes. There's the real valve cover, and that'll be this week's quality spot. So how come that valve cover looks so pretty?
Because we took it down and we cleaned it. We speed blasted it and had it powder coated.
That's right, because aluminum dies back, right? Aluminum, when it rusts, because aluminum can rust, it gets chalky and white and corrodes. And even if it doesn't do that, it dies back over time, and it gives you this sort of dull look. And so powder coating all of the aluminum parts on our engines, that color, which is actually called anodized silver, makes the engines look new forever, right? As long as you take care of them and keep them clean. It's just a way to make things last longer, and that's what we like. That's what we want to do. And Randy pointed out something else that's good to talk about as far as quality. This is a new water pump, but we changed it. We didn't modify it, but we did something to it. What did we do?
This is a brand new from Toyota water pump, not a CarQuest or O'Reilly's. There's a gasket between the pump and this plate, and we've had a lot of problems with them leaking. Brand new from the factory, you'll get them and they'll have rust inside of them. So we actually split it apart and put Toyota gasket sealer on the gasket, then put it back together before assembly, even though it's a brand new Toyota pump.
That's right. So, and not because, man, when you find out it's leaking later, you got to pull the radiator, you got to pull everything on a brand new truck. It's preventative measures. Good one, Randy.
What's up, guys?
We just came to see what you're doing.
Having loads of fun, hand sanding.
Getting ready for base paint.
Yes, sir.
We were just over there watching Randy talk about the water pump for the engine for this. So we figured we better come back here and see what Eric was up to.
Yeah, plugging away on this bad boy. Hopefully be done today, but we'll see.
Paint Monday?
Monday or Tuesday.
Dude,
yeah.
The fenders look sweet.
Yeah, everything came out pretty nice, so
yeah,
pretty happy about it.
Yeah, dude, this guy's gonna be stoked. This is a stage 2 restoration, so the body never came off the frame. It's not very common, but from the outside, the baby's gonna look unbelievable.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, we'll come back after you get it painted. Look for runs and blemishes and stuff. We don't like to draw attention to the negative, but we love these vehicles so much, sometimes we just have to point out things that weren't done right so that we can try to prevent things from happening to Land Cruisers in the future, or any vehicle for that matter, that should have been done differently. So stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
So I actually don't have a good visual for this stop it. I do have 2 stop signs that Roy found me, but this stop it is about stereo holes. So this one was already restored. We already fixed this one. But how many of you guys have seen where people hack into the dash of an FJ40 to fit a single DIN stereo? The hole size is kind of close from the factory, but not close enough, so people always saw over or beat it over with a hammer. Who knows, it's done a million ways. But there are stereos that fit in the factory stereo hole. This is one of them. It's from Retro Audio. This has all of the features of a modern stereo with the exception of a CD player, which who cares about that anyway. And so stop it. Stop cutting your dashboards up to fit a single DIN stereo that you can buy from Walmart. Spend a little bit of extra money and buy one that fits nicely, and you will have a way better finished product.
Stop it. Stop it.
So this is Gonzo's frame.
Who's Gonzo?
Gonzo is a Muppet, one of the Muppets. Familiar with the show?
Yes, I am quite familiar.
I think that fixed cab FJ45 pickups look like Gonzo from the Muppets for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you doing on Gonzo?
Oh, I'm installing a rear disc brake conversion. And
With parking brake.
With parking brake, yes, with parking brake. I've assembled all the axles, and we're turning this into a complete rolling chassis, and then it'll get handed off to somebody else for something else.
Yeah. We don't know what. Anything could happen after this. Airplane engine, electric motors on each wheel, dipping it in acid, anything can happen.
Anything's possible.
All right, so this tech tip is what to do to get a Tuffy box in your 70 series, in this case a BJ70. So the issue with a Tuffy box in these is if you put them back far enough so that the parking brake handle still functions, then the rear seat won't fold forward. So in this case, you can see we've modified the front of the box so that the parking brake's sort of tucked back in. We've also taken the cup holder off and built this 3D printed version so that we can still hold 2 cups in sort of a narrowed coin tray there. We also modified the top of this Tuffy box like we do all of them. We added our device tray and we lowered the whole profile. And now the rear seat can fold forward. We have a nice locking center console, 2 cup holders, BJ70 style.
So now that I've finally got my professional video assistants, it's time to revisit this. You can see that we've already started to take it apart. That's because we were so excited to get some stuff back from Sandblast so we could see what's actually under there. We just couldn't wait. And we have those sandblasted pieces, so let's go inside and look at them. So I'm actually just seeing these for the first time now, and there's definitely been some work done. This looks like a lapped patch of some kind the whole way. Looks like they added on to the front of the door right there a little bit with that little strip. These were mirror holes, and there's been some repair, and this is pretty suspect. So I think that the original, well, you can tell the original door handle mounts were up here, and so they've flattened out this original bump that would have been there and moved the door handle to down there, and I know they did that on all 4 doors. And if I flip this around, here's why. So the original door handle was here, and it was a lever style that you'd pull, but they had taken all of that out and switched them to some other vehicle manufactured door handle. I don't even know what they were from. So this hole was kind of nicely cut there, nicely if all your tools were rocks. So this hole was cut right there, and they'd added in sort of a different door handle that did pull on the original door latch. Oh man, this thing's rough. This is definitely going to be one of the most challenging restorations we've ever done. This is the back door, more of the same. Still a lot of rust damage that was covered with body filler, and then this whole section had been spliced in, and I guess these are probably homemade. That's probably what they did to get these lines back. They rolled these in there somehow and then welded the piece in. And then you can see this door handle's also been moved down from its original location there and there. I'm like, should I be scared to flip this over? Pretty standard rust. You know what's interesting is This is a patch that somebody welded in, and it's already rusted out that much. So it's been restored at least once. Is this what you call Swiss cheese? So Clint's 3/4 of the way, you said?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Through one door of the Woo 28.
Yeah.
Man, these things are rough.
It's been touched by many hands, I believe.
Yeah, for sure, and the hands of time. So you got a piece here. We ordered a special die for that. That'll be here pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll be able to reproduce those, and then up there, and I see you rebuild all of that.
Yeah.
And I see you rebuild all of that. Back. Here's a grinding wheel. I see. Why do you need this? What's this for? Doesn't sheet metal just smooth itself out?
It does at times.
Yeah. Then I see you rebuild all of this, and I see you rebuild all of this, and all of this down here.
This.
And oh, you rebuilt all of that. So what's left of the original door here?
Well, it's just this.
This is the middle. Is this maybe the best of the 6 doors, the worst of the 6 doors?
You know, I haven't looked at all of them yet. I've just kind of been putting the blinders on.
Because if you had seen them all, you would have quit by now. So the Woo 28 is my 1961 FJ40 project that I'm trying to get Toyota to partner up with us on building something very, very special. But no matter what we're going to do with the drivetrain, sheet metal has got to be perfect. And luckily we have Clint and Rigby, and the two of them will work until
My apprentice.
until this is good. This is going to be worth it.
That'll be cool.
We might be like 75 years old when it's done, but we're going to get it done.
Right over here, JP. So I've built these custom fuel lines, and I just want you to tell me that you feel like that's all far enough away from the manifold.
Absolutely. That looks great.
Okay. This one corner over here has a boss where we could build a custom heat shield if we thought we needed to. So these sit about like that.
Yep. No, that's
fine the way it is.
That's plenty high up off of the exhaust manifold.
Great.
Those lines, what did you do that was an extra step that makes this a little bit nicer than it could have been? Because they look great.
Yeah, thank you. So I feel like a lot of places or guys might have just tried to run rubber hoses around the back of the motor or over the valve cover or things like that, and I've actually taken the time here to build custom bent steel lines that go down inside the heat shield and run across the firewall from the back side of the heat shield. I don't think you could do it any cleaner. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it looks great. How come every time I walk back here you look like you're mad about something?
It's called RBF.
That's what you have? That's a
Something
girl
like
thing.
that.
We're coming to see what you're doing. Is this hot?
No.
So, remember I was talking about people who talked me into making shackle reversal, spring under shackle reversal FJ60 axle kits? Well, we can't just make the same thing as we used to do because there was a flaw in that design. So Zach is designed and is now fabricating round 2 of that part. Tell me what you did differently.
So I changed the bottom design since it's going to be an outboard design. Instead of following the top curve, it is now square, so it covers this whole shackle, well, the mount.
The spring mount welds to the bottom of this and the bottom of the frame. It looked funny before because you could see the top of the spring mount, so you have to redesign that frame horn to illustrate. It's almost like you have the pieces laying right there. Yep, so now that's going to sit just like that, and it's going to look good.
And then I also made it an inch longer, so now you have something to add to on the backside too.
Yeah, it's Kaizen. Kaizen means Japanese for improvement. Everything we do needs to be better every single time. And Zach is in charge of that, even though he does have RAF.
Yeah, that works.
Actually, you look like a pretty friendly guy.
Usually.
Yeah. So the 70 series Land Cruiser replaced the 40 series, and the BJ70 specifically replaced the FJ40 and the BJ40. In fact, they came out the very year after Toyota suspended production of the FJ40 model. So this is a short wheelbase BJ70, and every country in the world, it seems like, got these but us. So this happens to be a Canadian spec model, which is cool because that's left-hand drive. Let me show you everything we did to this vehicle, starting with the engine compartment. So some Land Cruiser trivia. First of all, any model Land Cruiser that came with a B at the beginning of the model name, in this case a BJ70, came with a 4-cylinder diesel. 4-cylinder diesel of some kind. In this case, it came with a 3B, which was a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder diesel that was good and would last an awful long time, but didn't offer a lot in the performance department. So we replaced it with a different 4-cylinder diesel, the Cummins R2.8. So I've already had a couple of comments on social media about why replace the Toyota diesel with the Cummins. Well, it's not always an easy decision to make, but the truth is a 3B diesel really doesn't have the best in performance. Plus, they're so antiquated, it's hard to find parts for them anymore. So in this case, it seemed like a better idea to go with a brand new engine that's supported in the United States than an older Toyota diesel engine that didn't offer the performance and also doesn't have parts as readily available. While you're checking out this engine compartment, you'll also notice the vertically mounted dual ARB compressor that powers the front and rear lockers we installed. Because of the size of a BJ70 engine compartment, it's a little more challenging to fit all the other accessories in, but we managed to do it and make it look as factory as possible. The cooling stacks on these R2.8s are pretty complicated. In this case, we added aftermarket air conditioning because the vehicle wasn't fitted with it from the factory. And then there is a 3-inch intercooler and a custom aluminum radiator with SPAL brushless electric fans. We have outfitted this vehicle with a ton of custom accessories. Up front, we've got an ARB bull bar, and this bull bar has been modified slightly. You can see this custom adapter plate that we built to set this up to be towed behind the client's motorhome. Also a lot of custom wiring involved in that adaptation. Also up front, you've got some rigid truck light headlights and a really nice rigid light bar. And behind the winch there is a worn Xeon 10,000-pound winch. On the rear of the Land Cruiser, we built one of our custom dual swing out rear bumpers. This is a little bit different than the ones we offer for the 60 series, so let's check it out. The first thing you'll notice is we did away with our traditional locking pin in favor of these hydraulic struts that open the swing outs. The second difference is that this bumper actually houses a set of FJ40 taillights. They look similar to the 70 series taillights, and we added them in there because of the partial blocking of the original taillights by the cooler and the spare tire. This bumper also sports a rigid camp light that doubles as a really nice reverse light, as well as a receiver hitch with wiring for towing a trailer. So inside this Land Cruiser, you'll notice that we did away with the carpet. We also did away with the cloth and or vinyl door panels and cargo panels. Because we wanted this Land Cruiser to be as durable as possible, we plasma cut out new cargo panels and door panels out of 1/8-inch thick aluminum, and then we shot them with a 2-part polyurea spray liner. An interesting note about this Land Cruiser is that when we disassembled it, there were parts, spare parts, in every nook and cranny there's possibly available. The door panels had all been removed and the cargo panels had been removed, and those cavities were full of everything you could think of that you might need in the case of a breakdown or a mechanical failure on the vehicle. This owner was definitely prepared for the worst on his adventures around North America in this Land Cruiser. 3 more accessories that you can see from the side of this vehicle are the Safari snorkel, an Easy-On K9 roof rack, and then a custom set of PRLC rock sliders that we fabbed in-house. So this Land Cruiser is one of our body-off restorations, and that means that every single part of it was disassembled, rebuilt, and restored individually. The Cruiser was actually white when we started, and we changed to this gray color that's actually still available on new Toyotas today. The stripes are actually a replica of a set of stripes on a 2009 79 series Land Cruiser, coincidentally the same color that you may or may not have seen on our website. Being a body-off restoration, after the frame was modified for the drivetrain and the sliders were added, the frame was powder-coated. Also, the underside of the body was sprayed with the same 2-part polyurea spray liner that we shot on the inside. You can see that all the clips, clamps, and springs and hardware were refinished before reassembly. The suspension is a 2.5-inch Old Man Emu lift, and 33 by 1050 BFG all-terrains are mounted on the original chrome wheels. The inside of this BJ70 is actually more custom than it looks. This being a 1984 model, and from Canada, it did not come with AC from the factory. So we added that in the form of a vintage Gen 4 AC setup, and we've mounted the controls for that right here in the dash where the old HVAC controls would have been. We also chose that spot for the Murphy gauge to monitor the Cummins R2.8. Then, because we have a lot of accessories and we wanted to add switches in a place that made sense, we removed the factory cubby and we made a custom plate that mounts the Carling style rocker switches in there. It's actually a really nice looking, kind of factory looking dash. All of the gauges in the instrument panel are still there in function. And we've added, of course, a pretty customized Tuffy security console. We had to modify this one so that the e-brake would work, and also change the top so it looks a little bit more modern. The seats in this Land Cruiser have been modified to go back further. The driver's seat 3.5 inches back, actually, because the new owner of this vehicle is actually 6'10". And if I move this seat all the way to the most back position, I feel like a little kid because I can't even reach the clutch pedal. These are the factory suspension seats, by the way, which absorb a lot of the bumps in the road for you. So the floor, of course, is all business with the 2-part polyurea spray liner, but the seats, the steering wheel, and the headliner are all leather to give it a super comfy feel. As you can see by the almost 600,000 kilometers logged on the odometer, this vehicle has seen its share of use, and it's amazing what good shape it was in even after that kind of mileage. It's a testament to Toyota's quality. All the mechanical work that we've done to restore this cruiser has given it a new lease on life, and I hope to see it back here when it has another 585,000 kilometers on it. Thanks for watching this episode of Profits Resurrection Land Cruisers TV. Check out our Facebook page at Profits Resurrection Land Cruisers, the Instagram feed at Pro Cruiser, and of course subscribe right here on YouTube for all the best Land Cruiser content on the internet. I know why Alex is talking and Truman is laying so still. Why? Because the spirit of the puppy has left the puppy and gone to the master. And that's why Alex is so lively and Truman is out cold. Later when Truman's running around, you won't get Alex to say a word on camera. Because they just share one talkative personality. Yeah, this. No.
Oh, you don't want Pookie, you want strip cock?
Yeah, I want Dum Dum. I don't want Pookie. Take that Pookie away from me at once. Remove the Pookie.